Hey, how's it going, everybody? So today I'm bringing you another deck to use to climb up to Legendary Ranked. This is a combination of two decks that I previously used before, being Zerg Hunter as well as Grunt Hunter. And I guess you can also count in a little bit of Discovery in there as well. What I'll do, just like I did last time in the previous video, is go over the deck, go over the strengths and weaknesses of the deck, and then we'll jump into two matches so that you can go ahead and see kind of how it plays. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so if you've played this type of deck before, you know that there's a lot of avenues that you can take within each deck. So now that we basically have three combined, there's a couple of cards here that stick out that you may have seen that are basically the core deck or the core cards that are needed in the decks. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. We do have our scout. There's a lot of discovery cards here that help us to go ahead and get, opportunities to multiply our cards. And then we also use our discovery card, Exarch Naielle, or our legendary, which is helping us as well to discover multiple cards. We take in a spawning pool. Again, we do have Zergs in here, and 1-2 spawning pool location gives us 2 free monsters. If you multiply them by 2, we get 4 with the potential of getting stronger and whatnot. We have tracking. Again, we're going to use tracking just to discover our core cards, or depending on our situation, maybe a card that helps us either push forward or kind of defend ourselves from the board. We have our Zergling here. We only have one of these. I kept one. I didn't want to use two. I have one just because, again, there's an opportunity to make this card stronger. Therefore, I want to have at least one of these just to go ahead and make them stronger and get a double from the effect. One of our other core cards is this spell right here, which helps us to go ahead and kind of trample over monsters, right? We're going to typically use this mostly for the card Warsong Grunt, which allows you to repeatedly attack a monster and then do damage to the hero, right? And then we also have our Hollow Hound, which is going to be able to do that as well. I'll go ahead and kind of describe those more once I come down. We have our Birdwatching, again, a very good card for discovery as well as boosting your other cards that you may have, so that's really good. We have the Observer of Myth. Again, we want to get our monsters as strong as they possibly can, therefore this is really going to help us out. I did decide to add a Tidepool Pupil for its use with Discovery. Again, Discovery is a big factor in this deck. Not only that, it lets us recycle some of our spells that we may use, such as the Jormungar, right? Or any other cards that we may have. We have the Titanforged Traps. I only run one because I feel like with two, I often drew them together and it wasn't helping me out as much as I needed it to. Sometimes I'd even have my scout out and would kind of have to really think about whether or not I wanted to use this so that it wouldn't fill up my hand. That's one of the things that you are going to notice, is that with this deck, you're going to be discovering so much that your hand might be full at all times. So you have to kind of play your mana correctly. Again, one of our core cards here, it's going to help us with our hero power to discover. This is another good card as well, just to kind of, summon it, hold on to a cheese. I've been seeing that the turns that help me out the most are probably 4, 6, and then I believe it's 8, 4, 6, 8 evens. There's a lot of good cards. It just really depends what you get, but those have been the most useful to me as of now. We have 2 Hive Queens just to basically go ahead and, fill up our hands. We want to get as many Zergs as we possibly can and then kind of rush the board as well. So that's already 2 of our tactics right there, right? Summoning all the Zergs we can, trampling over with Jormungar, and then of course Discovery, that makes it 3. And then we have Hydralisk. It's a good card just to deal damage, especially since you're probably going to have a heavy board presence. And then Nydus Worm, we only have one. I feel like we don't have too many Zergs to use two, so one is fine. There's rare occasions where I'll literally have this and maybe I have only one Zerg to draw, but otherwise it's a good card. Zola the Gorgon is pretty good. We want to maybe reuse some of our cards so we get copies, such as E.T.C. We might want to use Bob the Bartender or some of the other cards down here. So yeah, a good card to have in there. We have E.T.C. I feel like most decks run E.T.C at this point, just because it's a good card to have it in. Since you are discovering, there's the possibility of obviously multiplying it by 2 with the other 1 mana card. We have Mind Control Tech, which is I feel like a common tech. Kil'jaeden, just in case our deck is running low. And then for board wipes, we have the Seaslick Expand. And you can also use a previous card, which was Zola Gorgon, to kind of like reuse the cards that we just got from E.T.C. And then, as I was mentioning, if you have a Rangari Scout and you discover with Band Manager, then you can discover up to 2 cards or 2 copies. Grip is pretty good as well. You get pretty good effects, whether it's drawing cards, dealing damage, healing yourself, or maybe even taking control of monsters. It's a pretty good card to have. Again, it's a Discover card, so it works with our current tactics and strategies. Alien Encounters. It's going to be really rare for you to not have this cost you 0 mana just because you're discovering so much. I have 1. I feel like I don't need 2 just because the board presence is very heavy. We don't have space for 2, and a lot of the times we're not actually defending ourselves. If anything, we're actually always pushing. Maybe towards the beginning when you're starting to build your board, you might need to take a few hits or whatnot, but otherwise, yeah, 1 is good enough. One of our winning victories or options is this Grunt. Again, it's going to trample everybody with Jormungar, so if you can get them and boost them up, that'd probably be best. There's a lot of decks that I've seen are running kind of low level cards, especially Zerg or Death Knight. You know, they'll have their 1/1s before they even boost or whatnot, and then this one can easily take advantage of that. You may not entirely kill the opponent, but you can probably do a good, 10 to 20 damage with this one if you attack correctly. And then Bob the Bartender, it's pretty strong to use right now. You're either going to take control of an opponent's monster, either because you are having difficulties overcoming the monster, it's just a good monster or card that you want to get use of, or you just want to freeze the board to buy you a turn. Often if the opponents fill up the board entirely, then you can freeze them and take advantage of that. So that's pretty good. Hollow Hound, it's a pretty good card, again, to trample but also to heal you and get rid of monsters. Unfortunately, it is a 6 mana cost, which is a little bit heavy, but I feel like it's good enough to be running at this point. Again, in the beginning you might take a few hits, so just being able to heal yourself is going to help out a lot. And then we have our hero here, Kil'jaeden. Summon 2 queens, again, to fill up our hand, deal 3 damage. It's all pretty good. So yeah, definitely running one of these. So this is a card that I don't see a lot of decks running, and I can see why, but I've been running this card in a lot of my decks. If you saw the previous video, I think the Priest deck had it as well. It's just a very, very good card. It helps me, basically exactly what it says, repeat my previous turn. And if you're able to maybe like summon a War Song and then give a Jormungar or summon another Hollow Hound, basically it just helps you just go crazy. Last but not least, we have our Zilliats. We don't have on Kil'jaeden here. If you may notice, we actually have a battle cry on it, just because I do want to take advantage of being able to summon 2 and heal, as well as have tanks in case I need them so they take hits. But yeah, that's pretty much our deck here. Let's go ahead and go into the fights. All right, so our hand is not looking bad at all. I think we're obviously gonna get rid of these two for now. It's a little early. We do have the Rangari Scout, which we could possibly summon off the bat. Hope that it doesn't get destroyed, and then use Birdwatching to discover two minions. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll kind of see what happens. It's a little bit too early for Jormungar. Usually you want to wait until it's, you know, maybe turn 5 at least. So if I summon this, for sure it's gonna get killed from these two. So I might discover a minion first and wait on this. Okay. We can power up this card off the bat.
Just a little time pressure.
I might do that just because it goes with our battle strategy. No, we have two of them already here. Yep, pretty sure it's gonna be a hero Protox stack, so they're gonna keep trying to do damage. I might just do this again. Let's do this. Probably gonna summon this next turn.
Mind if I roll need?
Okay, so let's go ahead and summon this.
Job done.
We have our pupil early in the match, so that's pretty good. It's the hero power. I guess not. Seems like a waste. Right. So I'm definitely thinking summoning this. I'm gonna discover next turn, so next turn I'll probably do the scout and this. You know what? Let's summon a dragon.
Magically aged seeds.
Okay. Should be at 4 attack now, I believe. Alright, so we're at 9 cards. We do have to be a little bit careful. Because if we summon this, we go to 8. Then we go to 7. We discover 2, we go to 9. And we actually don't need none of these right now, so I think I'm gonna wait on that. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use, really thinking of using the cheese. We just fill our board up. It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Do some damage and call it. So again, the beginning is kind of where it's a little bit rougher. As long as you don't have a deck that can typically knock you out, or an opponent that can typically knock you out within the first 5 or so turns, I think we should be fine. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do? Could see myself summoning this. I'm gonna do this. That. Summon this. This. Destroy. Go ahead and draw your card. It's fine. what the opponent is waiting for is for the monster that gives it double the hero power,
true arcane magic.
or that refreshes his power. So we're just gonna wait for now.
How enigmatic.
At this point, we can probably summon this.
Think, Bran, think.
Here I come, ready or not.
Stand with me.
How to toy with them.
Nature speaks through my tunes.
Our path is clear. I must be decisive.
You're good enough to confess.
You have won this day.
Okay, so we made some few changes to the deck. We went ahead and added Ranger Gilly just for its death rattle effects to go ahead and boost our hand. Since it's typically always full, the death rattle is really going to help us out to make everybody stronger. And then we also added Couple Muscle. It's just easier to select who you want to buff up, so you really don't have to wait, for example, for the other card that we had here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. We don't have to wait for the Observer of Myths to like summon a card and then power them up, because sometimes this Observer of Myth will be beefed up itself, and then I have to summon something that's stronger. So yeah, I took that out, and I took out a Zergling as well. They just weren't doing too much, so that's kind of what we're running with. And now I'll go ahead and post this updated deck in the description. Let's go ahead and do our second match. Okay, so we are doing our second match. We're gonna save that for later. Stick with that. Perfect. Literally in order. We're gonna do this first and this and this. Alright, let's see how we do.
Job's done.
I would say this deck does pretty good with most decks, if not all. The one that I noticed where there's some issues are the ones that immediately spawn monsters and just like attack you for damage, because it does take a little bit to build up. That and then warrior just takes forever. I don't know if it's a misplace or me just being kind of like over it, but yeah, I've lost a couple times, like 3 maybe out of like 8 matches with them, but yeah, I think we should be fine.
Job's done.
Yeah, I think this new build pretty well. We have a lot going on. What to do? I'm tempted to spawn pool so I can get rid of that. But at the same time, I don't know. Do they have something else I can think? Let's just do that. Let's spawn pool. If it survives another round, I can do the Exarch, and then discover for an extra draw 2. Oh, okay. Oh, I could do this too. I think I'm gonna do the hero path.
Lush wilds and clear skies. This could be our home.
Two tide pools, would it be worth it? Maybe not. 2 battle queens, maybe. 2 discover a card. It's kind of the same.
Maybe it's a trap.
Can I do double carrions? I think I can, right? I'll do 2 trackings. It'll just help me kind of have more stuff going on for my deck. If that makes sense.
Just a little time pressure.
Let me just do it. It's fine. I'm already at 10 cards as it is. So next turn for sure, I'm gonna try to summon as much as I can. Oh, I wonder what they got. Did they get a Ziliax? Tracking, Birdwatching. Or was it all Zerg? Discover a card. Yep. Go for it. Go for it. See what it is. Okay. I was saying. Let's do this. Okay, now we're gonna this.
Inhospitable.
Fine.
shaking and stirred.
I feel like we have so much Zerg going on without not even having like the full cards, core set, and all that. Which is why I like this, because you can go either way. You discover, focus on discover, focus on Zerg. You know, not necessarily focus on powering up your Hollow Hound or Warsong Grunt so that you can use the Jormungar, but you just have so many options. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll do this. Let's do that, I guess.
Inhospitable!
What do we be able to get rid of? I discover I go to 10, then I lose a card next turn, so I think my best bet is just to get rid of it. And then let's do this.
Just a little time pressure.
If we can get Jormungar, we're gonna do some good damage. That's fine. Hopefully helps me out. Could discover a card. Hopefully I get the Jormungars for the next turn. I feel like I can't really draw too many more cards because then I get too full.
Maybe it's a trap.
Decisions. Let's fill up our board.
You won't find finer magically aged cheese.
He's gonna do 2 damage to everybody, so that's okay. I'll do this.
Just a little time pressure.
There's nothing really to discover right now, so I think I'm gonna go with Sasquatch.
Job done.
To see if the Rusher goes for the dragon, then deals 2 damage.
I ain't talking.
That's fine. Easy
Here I
peasy.
come, ready or not.
I swear you gotta be careful with those Zerg cards because they'll fill up your hand really quick. That's good for me actually. He wastes a card, he gets rid of his own monster for me, and I don't have to really worry too much about the extra draws which may burn my deck. Okay. Wait on that. Let's see, 9.
This could belong to a brand new species.
Let's do double bobby.
Where will find him?
Now we are going to do that. just wanted to get rid of some cards from my hand, so I was like, why not? I have 2 Hive Queens literally there that I can use. Look at that, my scout is completely immune or free, whatever. To do what to do.
How to toy with them.
The gas and the behind. Let's do this. Oh, 3, 5. I can summon 2. Let's do
I
this.
found a sea urchin.
Do I want to discover a minion? Maybe, since I have a scout. I can discover a card. Let's do that.
Heaven finding.
Cards now. So I want to discover. Well, Jormungar would be good. But to me, they're really gonna like go crazy. Is he gonna freeze? That's fine. I can just summon one. That's why I didn't want to summon a full board, because if they were to freeze me, I don't have any taunts, so they could have gone, you know, insane and gone for a hit essentially. Watch me draw the Jormungar card. Okay. He might have drawn a weapon that's 10. So I think my best bet would be to go Ziliax.
Perfection. Insignificant. Job done.
So now he can't just use the weapon, especially if it's a 10 mana, and take me out, right? With Wind Fury and I don't know what else. He's gonna have to get rid of Ziliax first.
The time reveals the corrupt potential.
Easy peasy. Open the board up.
A world cleansed of evil.
I should have taken a vacation ages ago.
Still at 10 cards. There's one of the cards I needed. What to do? What to do? I mean, it's pretty much game for them. Right? Can do this. I don't necessarily want to do anything else. Let's do this. See what happens. At 8 damage. I got this to like clearly wipe out his board. Let's see what this does. There you go. Easy, right? That's basically it. That's the build of the deck. There's just so much you can do. As you can see, in both games we won with Zerg, but we did have the possibility to go ahead and discover Jormungar. That way we can just kind of like run over cards with our Grunt. Warsong Grunt. And yeah, there's just so much you can really do. If they hadn't destroyed our band manager, then we could have pushed also to go get Kil'jaeden or whatever, and then just extended. So overall, this is a pretty good deck. I've had good success with it. Again, the only issues that I've had was maybe with Warrior, but that's about it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what else you would like to see. Hopefully you did enjoy. I know this is a very long video, but as far as deck reviews, these are basically what they're gonna look like. I'll go ahead and upload other videos on Sundays, probably related to Hearthstone, or throughout the week. You can catch me on stream as well on Twitch and YouTube. And then if you're interested, Fridays I upload Fortnite, Saturdays I upload Call of Duty, and that's basically my schedule for now. So yeah, thanks for watching.